And next is Ed Helm. Ooh. I didn't realize that was you, Ed.
Sometimes I do Mark Twain, so yeah.
I can see that.
No, don't get me started, Mr. Moran. Yes, Miss LaValle, well knows. But I'm semi-reformed, Miss
You need to
LaValle.
explain that.
Yeah.
He used
Well,
to
we
come
know
to-
he looks like him.
He used to come to school board meetings in costume.
Oh.
I shared a quote from Twain with the school board, which I won't share now, but it's was surprising to the school board. Let's put it that way.
Should he share it with us?
Another time.
Okay.
His time.
We haven't started your time yet.
Don't
but
encourage
thank
me
you.
too much.
Okay.
May it please the commission, my name is Ed Helm. I am an attorney, but I'm retired, I'm happy to say. And so now I'm a citizen and an advocate. I represent Pinellas Progressives, and I am the co-chair of the St. Pete Pinellas Progressive Club. We have been a part of this coalition from the beginning. And we were a part because as we knocked on doors in recent elections, there was an incredible concern, and I'm talking about South St. Petersburg, where I live and where I was knocking on doors, of citizens trying to figure out how can we make our vote count. There was this elaborate calculus that I would be asked, and other canvassers and door knockers would be asked, well, should I vote absentee? Can I, would that improve my chances? Or should I do the early voting? Or stories about, early voting problems. The message to share with the Commission is that there is a widespread concern among citizens that their vote either didn't count or they don't know how to make their vote count. I think the Commission is well aware that jurisdictions that have adopted the touchscreen are now reevaluating those decisions, including Miami, which is proposing to jettison over $24 million in equipment in favor of an OptiScan system which has a paper backup, a paper accountability, a way of recounting elections. I'm sure you're aware of Carolina, where one voting machine, didn't work, and they had to rerun a whole election statewide because the election was that close, and there was no backup to the electronics. I believe all of Ohio and New York, many jurisdictions, and it could well be that the feds are going to require that there be a paper backup system. And I think while we're still in the formative stages, this isn't a final report, this is an initial report, we're here as an introduction. I think that most of us who have studied this issue would have preferred you all to have gone the OptiScan route or reconsider that decision. We were at the St. Pete Times yesterday talking to members of the editorial board, and one of them opined that it's too bad that we didn't more carefully consider the OptiScan system originally when Pinellas was making its decision. Indeed, in fact, in reviewing the records, the public records of that decision, it seemed to reveal that the decision was made very early on, a week, as we understand it, after the original addressing to the Commission, the opinion of Supervisor Clark that the OptiScan was out and the touchscreen was in. So I'm here just to say we would welcome your continuing involvement in this, including the final phase of this, which will be another public hearing composed of elected officials from around the county. We have 2 mayors, we have many members of the state legislature and city councils that we plan to do a final hearing to help finalize these recommendations, but we want to work with this commission to figure out a way to reassure voters that their vote counts.
Thank you, Ed. Commissioner Welch has a question.
Thanks, Ed, for your comments and your website. I went out there and took a look at that this morning. I think you raised several valid points. I'm more excited about you talk about automatic rights restoration, about fair redistricting for competitive districts. I think that's very important. And I do think when we get to the point where we have a certified printer that works with our touchscreen machines, that we should move in that direction. As you know, we had quite a debate here when we were looking at it, and I was quite a strong proponent of optical scan precinct-based because it is highly accurate. But there were a lot of mitigating factors in terms of most large counties opting for touchscreen, and it's interesting that Miami-Dade is moving seemingly back towards
to you.
paper, but Orange County is moving towards a touchscreen. So there's no perfect system out there. I think what we really need to do, we can't implement a printer for our touchscreens that has to be certified by the Division of Elections.
Correct.
So I think that's where we need to concentrate our efforts. But I certainly think that the machines we have now do work, and I sat down with the programmers from Sequoia and went through programming election. If I didn't have faith in it, I would not have voted in it. So folks at home should know that their votes do count. I would remind everyone that we had paper in 2000, and some votes didn't count then. So paper is not a panacea, but I do think once we get to the point where we have certified printers, that I would certainly support us moving in that direction. Now, there will be a cost, and I hope everybody understands that we'll have to pay for those printers, probably through our general fund. But I appreciate your efforts.
Thank you, Commissioner Welch. We've looked at that too, and the cost scared us a little bit, but to be continued. We welcome our input to the commission as it addresses this, and I appreciate the comments of Commissioner Welch in terms of their ongoing interest in making it all work. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much.